Still new.
Let it go on.
Okay, we have the top of the airbox, or the lower part of the airbox off the plenum. We have the airbox itself off, and on the right hand side of the bike we're going to let go of the thermostat housing, disconnect the wire from that. $10mm socket. Just get that little pull out of the way. We have a breather hose that connects into our airbox or into our plenum. We pull that fella out of the way. And he's off. Next, I'm going to let go of the clamps on the carburetor boots, but I'm not going to let go of all of them. On number one, I'm going to loosen off both clamps. And number two, I'm only going to loosen the top clamp. And on number three, I'm going to loosen the clamp that goes to the carb. And on number four, I'm going to loosen the top clamp only.
You might want to speak up a little bit.
Okay. On this particular set of carbs, there's no choke cable going down to the carbs. Right now I've got that disabled on this bike, so I don't have to let go of my choke cable. Right now the carbs should pull right out of the boot. If they don't come freely, I use a pry bar like this one, or something similar, and I use it carefully. I get in behind the carb right here, so that I've got a good solid chunk in the engine right at the end of the pry bar, and I give it an easy pry. You can see the carb is moving off the boot. The same on the bottom. I get underneath somewhere where I know I'm not going to damage anything. I give it a pry, and that came up out of the boot quite good. As you can see, this carb here was flooding badly. You can see the gas. Again, give it a pry, and same thing on the other side. I'm going to get underneath this carb. We're going to give it a gentle pry upwards. That boot stays on. When I get in here, give it a gentle pry outwards. Carbs are now out of the boots. Now what remains is to remove them from the cavity right here. Helps to have something to sit on. Get a little comfortable. Get your carbs. And wiggle them around. Out they come to a point. Let them sit there. We have our throttle cables next to deal with. like to remove them, both of them at the same time, on the mounting bracket that they're on. A small stubby screwdriver is good for that, or I have a very small ratchet that I like to use. Two Phillips head screws hold the bracket on. Once the screws have started, they come rather easily. One. And two. Now we have to disconnect the throttle cables from the linkage on the carb. In order to do that, we're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers. You can do it without the pliers sometimes, but the pliers make the job easier. Simply get the carbs in a position where you can get some slack on your cable. Pull one cable out, needle nose for the bottom cable. Pull it out. Now your throttle cables are disconnected, bracket and all. At this point, carbs are free to come out. One set of V65 Magna Carbs removed.
12 minutes.
Is that total? Or just in the second half of the film?
7 in the second half and 5.
12 minutes.